Good evening, Cebu. Good evening, Philippines. It's open mic night tonight. And tonight, I'd like to greet all of you a very Merry Christmas. We are privileged to have a special guest. So special, one of a kind. He is the only one playing this role in all the world. He's been doing this for many, many years, for centuries. And he is a staple during Christmas. Let me remove this. We have none other than Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas.
Yes,
welcome to
Michael.
Open Mic.
Yes, welcome.
And Merry Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
Oh, makes me think of this favorite poem of mine.
Which one is that?
And to all a good night. It's just night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. Blah 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 blah.
That's a great one. That's
oh,
a great
I love
one.
that. I love that. It brings me back to my childhood. I've told you this before. Christmas is my favorite time of the year. Since I was a kid until the present, throughout the year, if I feel sad, if I feel lonely, if I want to be inspired, I play Christmas songs.
Well, that's good.
Or I watch a Christmas movie. So you're one of my favorite people, Santa.
Well, wonderful. I'm glad to know that.
And I'm glad you haven't.
Honored.
I'm glad you haven't retired.
No, Santa Claus retiring never happened.
It seems like you've been a senior citizen for for so long.
Centuries.
How is it flying around? How do you make it happen?
It's so great. You know, it's just wonderful because I have such good elves. You know, Mrs. Santa works so hard, the elves work so hard, and the reindeer are so good. And particularly since we got Rudolph a few years ago.
I'm representing him for now.
You know, he's just made things wonderful, and all of the airplane pilots.
How does he charge his nose? I hope it's solar.
Oh, of course.
So that it's environmentally friendly.
Well, of course it's environmentally friendly. Yeah.
Is your sleigh environmentally friendly?
Well, yes. No gasoline.
Great. But how do you make it happen? How do you go around the world in one night, get into those chimneys, and you're a bit plump?
The biggest problem is getting through the chimneys and keeping everything white. But it's magical.
Everything.
That's what Christmas is. It's just magical.
So the fabric is magic.
Be wonderful and happy and just believe in magic and believe in the goodness of Christmas.
Like your sack, which is here, it doesn't run out of stuff.
Oh yeah, that's a little bit low right now, but I do have something in here that you might like.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You already gave me something.
Oh, well, that's just a nice
Thank you for this bracelet because it's teal. It's my favorite color.
Well, you're welcome. But here's a bottle of wine from a place in Oregon called the Nehalem Bay Winery.
Which I know Santa Claus has a business interest in.
Yes, he does. Yeah.
Wow, thank you.
But it's our Pinot Noir, and I think you will really enjoy it.
I'll make sure I reserve this, chill it enough for Noche Buena.
Okay, well, enjoy it on Noche Buena.
Yeah, because
you're welcome to have it.
Thank God, you know, I took a break. I had a 1 month alcohol fast the entire November.
Oh,
in
good.
preparation for Christmas, for all the celebrations.
Good thinking.
And then this came. And
there you go.
From this. So thank you for the Santa.
You're welcome.
How do you do it? How do you keep track of who's naughty and who's nice? So I guess I've been nice.
You've been a nice boy from what we have heard, and we hear a lot.
You have very good sources.
Yes.
So do you use Facebook? Because now there's technology, and before, centuries ago,
the technology has helped us a lot. It really has. Although it always happened before technology because it's magical. It's just magical.
So you use Facebook to keep track on who's naughty and who's nice. But I have a problem with that. How do you know? Because Facebook, I'm sure you've read this. Some people, they pose. They project lives that are much better than, or much grander than what they actually are.
Or worse.
So how do you sift through all the drama on Facebook?
It's the magic. It's the magic.
You can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Well, actually, Mrs. Santa is pretty good at all of that, really.
So
Sort of keeps track of stuff. I could call Mrs. Santa and find out what somebody wants for Christmas, really, because she sort of just knows.
I guess you gave me this because I've been posting a lot of political stuff on Facebook, so maybe this is my, better chill. Better relax a bit. You're a bit too political.
A little sip of Pinot helps.
To unwind from all the political noise.
There's a lot of politics going around the world today.
Oh yeah, it's changing.
All over the world.
But Santa is above politics.
Oh yes, Santa Claus and Christmas is when we just love each other and have fun.
But some people try to politicize Christmas. What do you say to that?
I think it's silly.
It is, right?
It's just silly.
Yeah. What is the true meaning of Christmas for you?
Well, Christmas really, of course, had to do something with Christianity to start with. Of course, we all know that. But the part of Christmas where I got involved is when somebody decided they wanted to give somebody a gift. And then they started giving gifts and more gifts, and they chose this particular day. And now we have Christmas all over the world, and it's turned into a big commercial thing, which helps business all over the world. And so it's good. And
jobs.
And gives jobs, and it makes people
So the
work
root of Christmas is really the birth of Jesus Christ.
Yes.
But he was born to spread love, and love is universal.
And that's what Christmas does.
Whether you are a believer or not, love is universal.
Yeah.
And that is what Christmas is.
That's what it is.
So going around the world, you have no problems.
Oh, not at all.
Even with our air traffic.
No, I have an identification card so I can fly all over the world. I have a travel permit. It's a little card. And I have no trouble with customs any place. I have no trouble with immigration any place. Just people love Santa Claus.
Because for mere mortals like me, sometimes we wait taxiing because of air traffic. But you don't have to fill out your immigration.
No.
You don't have to declare every single thing in this bag.
No.
Good for you. And it's because of this ID that you have.
They know Santa Claus.
Can we zoom into this ID?
I showed a picture of my international driving permit.
Yeah, it has the logo of the United Nations, and it says Convention on International Road Traffic of September 19, 1949. United Nations Operators License and Permit. Name, Santa Claus. Country of birth, North Pole. Date of birth, wow.
0001.
Beginning of time. But Santa Claus, I have to ask, here are the restrictions at the back, normally, like my driver's license. And it says here, the license holder whose picture appears on the front of this card is authorized to operate the following vehicles: motorbike and motorcycle, passenger car, and light trucks, not exceeding 3,500 kilograms. Doesn't say anything about a sleigh.
Well, that's because of Rudolph. Rudolph takes care of all of that for me.
We love Rudolph. Is he your favorite reindeer?
Well, yes.
What about Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Donner?
Yeah, they're all wonderful, and they've just been around a long time, but Rudolph is sort of the new bright light shining, obviously.
He guides you.
He guides everything, yes.
So he, when he sees, what do you call that, the lights in the airport. And,
if you see the runway lights, or you see a Philippine airline plane come by, he just sort of moves a little bit, and I wave, and then the pilots wave. It's nice.
That's great. But, I've seen a lot of Christmas movies, and I've told you that I love Christmas, so not only do I listen to Christmas songs, but I also watch Christmas movies like Home Alone. I've told you this before. I relate to Home Alone, especially the sequel, because when I was 4, I got lost in Manila. My dad got lost. It's the other way around. We were buying on Christmas Eve, and I was 4. We were buying fireworks, and I lost them, and I went home alone. So I really relate to it. But I was younger than Kevin McAllister was in both movies because I was 4. So that's one of my favorite movies. What is your favorite Christmas movie?
Well, this is really horrible, I suppose. A lot of people will think it is that I like Bad Santa. Because I can't do those
There's a sequel.
There's a sequel. I heard it's worse.
So you like it because you can live vicariously through him?
Well, no, he actually is a very nice fellow. and, which is shown. And he does really nice things, but he is sort of strange too.
He's like our president. There I was. There, I couldn't help myself from being political.
I don't think we want to really be political. There's some really strange things happening political all over the world.
Yeah, people are polar opposites. North Pole and South Pole, or East and West, whatever. But this is the time
Christmas,
everyone is in the North Pole.
We come together.
Exactly. That's the spirit of Christmas. For me, my favorite Santa movie is The Miracle on 34th Street.
That's a great movie.
Both the old one and the newer one in the 90s. And I always shed a tear when I watch it.
Yeah.
It moves me. In God we trust. That's what it says.
That's right.
So, how does it work in your workshop?
Well, we have the elves, and Mrs. Santa sort of knows what people want. And then we also get letters from children and adults. So we get letters, and they tell us what they want. And so, like, it's magical. And so we sort of make things, but we also let people know all over the world what other people want. And they just sort of happen to have it. It just works.
That's amazing.
It is. It's amazing. A little bit of trust and love.
But the outfit, you say it's magical and it never gets dirt, even if you get into chimneys.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it, but haven't you ever tried, or haven't you ever considered changing your fashion sense? It's been like that for centuries.
Well, that's a strange thing. I really haven't thought about changing the fashion. I like the red and the white.
Or shaving your beard, which is real.
It's a real beard,
No shave November. That's right, people get it. No shave November so that they can...
You can have a souvenir.
Oh my God.
How's that for a souvenir?
It's real.
Real.
Yeah, so no shave November in time for Christmas.
Right.
So you've never thought of changing your look?
No. This is what everybody expects Santa to be. And so that's what Santa is.
Saint Nicholas.
Saint Nicholas.
So let me know. So this is really for the children of Cebu.
Yeah, well, just little toys here, and like for staff members and for grandmas and grandpas, everybody. But I have little things here. I have a lot of bracelets and here's a toy for a little boy. Just a nice little yo-yo. And little kids like everything.
Oh, well,
and then I have bracelets.
Yo-yos are a Filipino invention.
And then I have for little babies.
Oh, it's
little
things.
Small
teddy bear.
Little teddy bear.
It's cute. Well, anyway, it's time because like you said, everything is commercialized now. We have to pause for the short break for some reminders from our sponsors.
Okay.
Open mic, we'll be right back with Santa Claus.
Do you all know Jingle Bells? Yes. You know Jingle Bells? Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Now, where are we going to sit down and take a look at some presents, huh?
We're back here in Open Mic with Santa Claus. Santa, thank you so much for coming. It is an honor for me.
Well, I feel it's an honor to be with you here on Open Mic. I really do.
Hear that? That's Santa Claus. That's him. That's Santa Claus himself saying it's an honor to be here. I've had Philippine president, senators, a host of VIPs, a Guinness record holder, and a Michelin star chef. But you are probably my most famous guest to date.
Well, that is sort of special. That makes me feel really special, in fact.
Say ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas!
I actually bumped into Santa a few years ago, also around Christmas time. It was the year when Yolanda, the typhoon Yolanda happened, and I was having dinner with some friends in Ayala, and you were walking, and then around Ayala too, and that's when I came to know you. You were not using your sleigh.
No, I was walking. I was walking.
And interestingly, the coincidence is earlier that day, you also met my sister. Yeah, you also met my sister at
Santa Claus was just out and about like Santa Claus does, and I met.
Yeah, you met my sister at Chonghua Eye Institute, where she's an optometrist.
That's right.
And when she saw our photo, oh, you also met him. Whoa. And then, but even before that, you've been coming to the Philippines every Christmas to spread, joy and cheer to especially the less fortunate children.
Yes, going to schools and then the homeless children and the SWDs, different ones, and then over to, like I was at Bohol at some schools just this weekend.
Yeah.
I went over there.
Last Christmas, when our friend Cristina Garcia Frasco, when she was still First Lady, you also did something in Iloan.
Yeah.
And then she's looking forward to having you back there, now that she's mayor.
Yeah, that will be fun. That will be fun.
So that's the whole year you prepare for Christmas.
Well, I keep a good mood and all year long, getting ready for enjoying Christmas and helping people be happy. I don't make them happy, I just help them be happy.
And you also make good wine.
Yeah, and we make good wine also. That's what makes it all happen. Really.
Do you have to renew your license every so often?
The license is good for a long time.
Good for you.
Yeah, a long time.
Because I renewed my license in July, and I have not received my plastic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I still have the paper. And I think the same goes for most people. Yeah. So hopefully we'll get our license. And our passport, like yours, has been extended. The validity has been extended. That's what I heard.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Do you have a passport?
I don't have it with me, but yes, I do. And when I show my passport with my Santa picture, this exact same picture on my passport, really, every immigration official in every country I go to, I hold it like this, and they look at it, and they look at the passport, and they look at me, and then they break into a huge smile, like this. It's just wonderful.
And I think you're the only one who's ever allowed to smile on his passport, because you are Santa Claus after all.
That's right.
The rest of us have to be, nonchalant.
We have fun. Yeah.
So
Santa Claus is lucky.
How do you train your elves?
It doesn't take a lot of training if you just trust in people. Most people will do the right things, the good things.
People. Even the shortest people.
The short people and the tall people, all of them, but just let them have the opportunity to do things, and people will normally do the right thing.
What's the role of Mrs. Claus? Because Mrs. Claus, a lot of people don't know this, but Mrs. Claus is actually Filipino.
In this case, yes.
In this case, yes.
She sort of runs things, like Mrs. Every place sort of runs things.
So she helps run things. Does she help monitor if children are naughty or nice?
She does that. She checks and sees and knows, and like if I'm wondering, who's going to get what present, she always seems to know.
Does she remind you that you have to be, you have
at
to
a
leave,
certain place at a certain time,
schedule and everything?
Oh yes.
Does she get mad if you eat too many cookies and drink too much milk?
She has a tendency to be very vociferous and let me know when things need to be done differently.
Well, she is Filipina after all. That's what you get.
Yes, I'm a lucky man. Santa Claus.
Marrying a Filipino is a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
They're sweet, but they can be very tough.
Yeah.
Very strict. See, Mrs. Claus is laughing. But she gets along with everyone, with all the worker elves and the reindeer.
It all works very well. Yeah, it works very well.
How did she adjust to the climate in the North Pole? I mean, from a tropical Philippines,
It's just magical.
tropical Cebu.
It's like, can you imagine being in this
Yeah.
outside here at, you know, at
So it's the
38
same
to
thing.
40?
It's the
Yeah,
same thing.
yeah, it's
So
hot.
So the
But you live in
snow for her is like the white sands of Bantayan.
Yes.
That's the magic. That's the work of
The
magic.
magical, yeah.
So Santa, after the Philippines, where do you go?
Well, I will be going back, I will go to the United States, to the winery.
To the winery.
And to my winery, the Nehalem Bay Winery in Nehalem, Oregon. And there we will have our Christmas party. Funny thing, that have a big Christmas party and a big Christmas open house for everybody in the community. And then I will be having Southwest Airlines help me. I'm not going to take my sleigh down to Texas, but I'm going down to Texas because I have a grandson down there.
Oh.
That's eight years old, just on November.
Little Man Claus.
Yes, and he has called me Grandpa Santa.
Are you training him to take over the family business at some point?
He may do that, but he likes soccer a whole lot right now.
At this point in his life,
He likes football.
that's expected. But so your winery actually helps subsidize this annual.
Yes.
Uh,
In reality, it helps.
It's an annual
It
commitment.
doesn't just help, it does
it
pay
bankrolls
for everything. Yeah.
So
And it also takes care of an orphanage I have in San Carlos and Negros.
Wow.
A little, very small orphanage. And then we have families in different places we help and so forth. And, you know,
So this is the time when we transition. We have to expose Santa for who he really is. You are Santa Claus, but in real life, your name is.
Raymond Leslie Shackelford Jr. They call me Santa Ray this time of year, and the rest of the time, Ray.
So, for the first time here on my TV on Open Mic, we expose the real identity of Santa Claus.
Oh, I didn't know that this was going to happen.
It's gonna be on the front pages tomorrow. So, Santa Claus, Santa Ray.
Yes.
Now it's about time we get to know you, Ray.
Okay.
Aside from the winery, you have an orphanage. How old are you?
I'm 77
Wow,
in reality.
in reality. and
And I'm
you,
a very fortunate man. Yeah.
you can actually also play not just Santa Claus, but you can be Moses or something. You just change into a different robe with the staff and you can be Moses.
Yeah, I could be, I suppose. Yeah.
Or you can be God the Father or something.
I don't think I could do that.
You can't. It's too high.
That's just a little bit out of my range.
You don't have the clearance for it.
No, don't have the clearance for that one.
But Moses you can play.
Yeah.
Or any prophet from the Old Testament.
Yeah.
You can fit the profile. So you're 77. Tell us about your life.
Well, I grew up in a, sometimes you get on the internet and they send those things around and said, do you remember these things? And it was like an outhouse where you have to go outside your house to go to the bathroom because there's no plumbing in the house. Well, that's true in a lot of places in the world, but it hasn't been true where I grew up for many years. But back when I was a child, it was true. And we pumped our water. We didn't have running water. And
This is in Oregon?
No, this was in Oklahoma.
So you were
In the central
born
part.
and raised in Oklahoma.
Yeah, I was born in Kansas and raised in Oklahoma. And then moved to Oregon when I was in the 6th grade.
Okay.
And it was such a change because Oklahoma is, flat plains and, just very different than moving to Oregon with the mountains and the trees and the water every place and rain every day. It was a very big change, but a great change.
And how many siblings did you have?
Pardon me?
How many siblings did you have? How many children in the family were you?
Myself and a sister is all. And my parents were both teachers. Mother was a first grade teacher for 30-some years. My father was a math teacher and a band director at high school for years, forever, you know.
Where are your parents?
They both passed away.
So
they're in heaven.
They're in heaven. Yeah. And every time you fly around the world in your sleigh, you get to see them.
Yes, that's right.
And your sister.
And I'm very lucky because they wanted me to put their ashes in the water because I like to swim. And so I did. I put them in the ocean. And so no matter where I am in the world, there's some ashes floating.
And not only
and
that.
I get to swim with my parents.
Not only that, because they're in the ocean, when the ocean, at some point, some of the water evaporates.
Yes.
And when they precipitate, some of them come back in the form of...
In Oregon.
In the form of rain or snow during Christmas.
Yeah, right.
So,
and I had one sister. She passed away also. And
is she older than you?
She's 3 years older.
She would have been 80.
Yeah, she would have been 80 now.
She's also there in heaven.
Oh yeah, she's in heaven too. Yeah, they're waiting for me.
When did you start with the winery business?
I bought the winery about in 91.
1991.
1991.
Why did you get into the wine business?
Well, I don't know if I should really say this, dressed in this outfit.
Okay.
But I got drunk, and I met the guy that owned it, and he was broke, and I had a little bit of money, so I bought it.
Even Santa has fun once in a while.
Oh, Santa has fun all the time.
Especially if you have a winery. But, let's talk more about what got you, the life that you've lived and what got you into all of this. But, again, we have to pause for another break.
Okay.
We'll be back with Santa Claus here in Open Mic. We're back here in Open Mic. Before we proceed with our conversation with Santa Claus, I'd like to invite all of you to watch and follow our shows live online through live stream. That's www.livestream.com/mytv30/on-air. And please like us on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/mytv.mychannel. Okay, see you there. So Santa Ray.
Yes, Mike.
77. So you were born in what year?
1939.
1939. So
October the 27th, 1939.
You were a child during the Second World War.
Yes.
Do you remember how it was?
I remember a little because my father was wounded, and I remember
he was wounded
in Germany, and he came back to the United States and was in a hospital in a little town, Chickasha, Oklahoma, and I was 4, I think I was 4, maybe 5, and we went down to visit, and it was sort of interesting.
Was he
as a child?
Did he get wounded badly?
He was crippled. We got shot in both legs. And he was a medic, and he was taking care of somebody, running to help somebody that was wounded when he got wounded.
Did he get better?
He was crippled all of his life a little bit, but he still lived very well. Yeah.
And he's inspired someone like you. Huh?
Yes.
So growing up, how did you get to know about Santa Claus? Was it a big deal even then?
Well, you saw pictures of Santa, but the first time I saw Santa, I was actually in the 4th grade.
Oh, not very young.
Yeah, I was actually in the 4th grade because we lived in poor little towns, very much like some places that there are in the Philippines where children don't get to see Santa.
Okay.
Because there's no
TV.
They don't get to see a real Santa.
Okay.
You might see a picture in back then a Mookie Ward catalog, which was Montgomery Ward catalog or Sears and Roebuck. You might get to see a Santa Claus picture, and you'd get to see, Christmas cards, but not a real Santa. And
but weren't you told bedtime stories?
Oh
Christmas?
Yes, of course.
Before you were 4. Before you were in your 4th grade.
Oh yeah, but no, I didn't get to see a Santa dressed like Santa.
But before that, you've heard of him.
Oh, of course, from as long as you can remember, every year.
Was he a big part of your childhood? Your Christmas?
It was an exciting time at Christmas. There was the upsides and downsides, and I only try to remember the upsides of it. It was just wonderful.
Were your Christmases traditional growing up?
Yes, very. We had Christmas trees and we had presents.
Was it a white Christmas?
We normally, actually in Oklahoma, we had white Christmases most of the time. And when we moved to Oregon, we didn't always have snow at Christmas.
So you look back with fondness at Christmases when you were a child?
Yes, at several different emotions, but one of them was the happiness of getting presents, getting something.
Is that one of the reasons why you are doing what you're doing right now?
Well, the reason I'm doing what I'm doing now is I like to help people be happy. And it makes, people all want to be happy, and it just helps them be happy. To get a little present and see Santa Claus, and they're just excited,
And having seen you in action, it also makes me happy to see someone like you make other people happy.
That's what I like to do. That's what I like to do.
Spread the happiness.
Yeah. Because that's what we're here for, is to love each other, and that's all part of loving, is being happy.
So is it safe to say that you look forward to Christmas more now, especially in the last 7 years, than you did as a child? Or
I actually look forward to Christmas now probably more than ever.
More than ever.
Yeah, I've been playing Santa Claus off and on the last 20 years or so, but here specifically, really doing Santa Claus the last 7 years a lot.
Do you feel like some sense of moral obligation or like responsibility, that there's some weight on your shoulder because you are portraying a symbol that is larger than most of us are?
Yeah, it's much bigger than I am.
Yeah, so that you really have to conduct yourself even throughout the rest of the year, not just during Christmas. You have to set a good example, because people look up to you now as Santa Claus too. It's not just Ray.
Well, I wish I could say that I was that really, really good person, but I'm just sort of a normal person. And during this time of year, I do really try to conduct myself a little bit special. I will say that.
Because because with the image and the role comes this huge responsibility.
Yes. I feel that way, actually. That, to try to be nicer to people, even under really, when 20 or 30 or 40 or 50, or like day before yesterday in Bohol, we had probably 200 kids, and they just swarmed me. And there was kids on the ground being trampled. There was,
and some kids can be very naughty.
Well, they were, everybody was excited. That's what happens, and we got it broken up, and nobody got hurt, but just one of those type of things,
But you try to keep it together because of the image that you represent. Because I can only imagine. If I was in your shoes, oh my gosh, it's like being a public official. You're being in public office, or being a celebrity. More is expected of you, because
for this 1 month, I understand how the president of the United States, or the president of
any country,
Philippines, or a movie star, would feel.
Great
and I
expectations.
cannot imagine being that 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I cannot. They are very special to live that life,
But you're bigger than them.
So right now, yes.
Yes, right now. I want to ask you about your favorites. Favorite Christmas movie? You said it's,
well,
interestingly,
that's funny, but I really do like it, because he's a good guy, and he actually does help people. He does some bad things also, but
yeah, sometimes the best things come in the most unlikely of packages, the most unseemly of packages. So it's best to be surprised. Then sometimes some people are wrapped in a nicely wrapped with a pretty bow.
They surprise you, but they're not as good as they look.
And then you
on
open
the outside,
and it's a Pandora's box. Bad. But what's your favorite Christmas song?
I like Jingle Bells. I sing Jingle Bells at all you know, with schools all over.
You love the basics, don't you?
Very simple things. Yeah.
Favorite Christmas food?
Well, Christmas food. I like fruitcake, which they don't have much here actually. And I think it is.
What?
Well, is well, it's not a Christmas food, but that's one of my favorite Philippine foods.
Which I don't like. I cannot stand it. It's too.
Well, the way it's made up at the mountain up there, you know.
What about lechon? That's a very Filipino Christmas food.
Oh yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I like turkey actually.
Well, I like
healthier.
turkey. Yeah, of course.
It's healthier. What about eggnog? So it's a drink, but
I don't drink a lot of eggnog, although I used to drink eggnog a lot. It's a nice flavor, though, it really is. I grew up drinking a lot of milk, and so it was good. And the cinnamon in it is good.
Do you cook, Santa?
Not much, a little. Not much.
Because you're busy.
Yeah. No,
Does Mrs. Claus do the Noche Buena?
Yes.
What's your tradition like? Because some Filipinos, most Filipinos, celebrate Noche Buena, so it's like at the stroke of midnight. There's always a feast, and then after they open the gifts by the Christmas tree.
Well,
but in the States, mostly it's they open the gifts in Christmas morning.
On Christmas morning, most of the time.
Yeah.
But then there's some families that open in the evening, and some families go to church in the evening, and then when they come home. It's not at midnight, but they will come home and then open presents. Or we always woke up in the morning, and that's the thing, because we would wake up very early and wake our parents up. That was the idea, you know. And it was amazing because we would go to bed, and when you walk in to look at the Christmas tree, there was a bicycle sometimes, or there was a sleigh, and it wasn't there the night before, and you're just amazing because Santa Claus came and left it.
Or candies in your stockings.
Oh yeah, all of that. Yeah, the stocking was empty. It was empty, and then in the morning it's full.
I look forward to Christmas traditions like that. Our family go to Mass, midnight Mass, but it's not really at midnight, so I think it ends right before midnight. And we go home and we have our Noche Buena. Sometimes you open the gifts after Noche Buena, sometimes you open it at Christmas morning. Yeah. Either way, those are the traditions that I look forward to. And the Simbang Gabi, you get to do that even in the States? No, just here. So Simbang Gabi, every morning, my family and I like to go to Redemptorist Church. So that's 9 mornings. I've not been absent since 1999.
Well, that's very good.
It's my favorite tradition.
Oh, that's
I don't make a wish. I just thank. I thank the Lord for the year that was, and I also entrust the year to come to Him. So it's a beautiful tradition. I think it started in the Philippines. So,
well, that is a great tradition. Yes, it is.
But you have become part of our tradition.
Well, that's good.
Especially Cebu and the Visayas. I hope you never tire.
Oh, I don't think I ever will.
Thank you so
much. Santa
much.
Claus will always be here.
Thank you so much for all the work that you do, for the happiness that you spread, especially to the children, the less privileged, the underprivileged children of the Philippines. It's the least that they can, it's the least that they can get, It's not just the happiness, see? I think it's believing in magic.
I think that's important.
You give them something, they play with it, but it's believing that things can happen, believing in the impossible. I think that's the magic of Christmas. And you bring that with you wherever you go.
I try to. Yeah. I try to.
And for the rest of us, we bring it with us wherever life takes us.
We all do that. We all do that. Life is we're just so fortunate to be who we are and live in this wonderful world, and we have to take care of it and love each other.
Thank you, Santa.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you for your time, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
To all of you, it has been a beautiful year. We look forward to the next year. and we are privileged to have Santa Claus with us to spread the joy and the laughter and the cheer. And of course, the message of Christmas, which is love and caring for each other. So that said, I wish all of you a very Merry Christmas, good night, and Godspeed.
Good night. There we go. That was very nice. Thank you.
Teary-eyed.